Greek fire. Used by the Byzantine Empire during naval battles, Greek fire was a highly flammable substance that could not be extinguished with water. It was typically deployed through siphons mounted on ships, causing chaos and destruction among enemy fleets. Diseased corpses. During sieges, armies sometimes catapulted corpses infected with diseases, such as bubonic plague or smallpox, over the walls of enemy fortifications. This tactic aimed to spread sickness and weaken the defenders from within. Kamikaze. Employed by the Japanese during World War II, kamikaze pilots would deliberately crash their planes into enemy ships. This tactic aimed to cause maximum damage and psychological impact, as well as to disrupt enemy naval operations. Poisoned wells. In medieval warfare, it was not uncommon for armies to contaminate enemy water sources, such as wells with toxic substances or animal carcasses. This tactic aimed to deprive the enemy of vital resources and spread disease among their ranks. False flag operations. Throughout history, armies have disguised themselves as enemy forces to infiltrate enemy territory or sow confusion among enemy ranks. These operations often involved using captured enemy uniforms, flags, and other insignia to deceive the enemy. Scorched earth tactics. During retreats or defensive operations, armies sometimes employed scorched earth tactics, deliberately destroying crops, infrastructure, and resources to deny them to the advancing enemy. This tactic aimed to make the territory less valuable or even uninhabitable for the enemy. Honeypots. Intelligence agencies have employed honeypots, where operatives use seduction or blackmail to gain leverage over enemy agents or officials. This tactic aims to gather information, compromise adversaries, or manipulate events to the advantage of the employing agency. Cyber warfare. In modern conflicts, cyber warfare tactics such as malware attacks, hacking, and disinformation campaigns have been increasingly utilized to disrupt enemy communications, sabotage infrastructure, and manipulate public opinion. Harald's bird-fueled Inferno. In 11th century Norway, Harald Sigurdsson captured birds and attached flammable materials to them, causing them to set the city on fire when returning to their nests. Japanese bicycle invasion. In World War II, Japanese forces used bicycles to navigate rough terrain and surprise British defenders in Singapore, leading to the surrender of 60,000 British soldiers. Cat-tastrophe Gambit. In 525 BC, during the Battle of Pelusium, the Persians exploited Egyptian reverence for cats. They painted cat images on shields, causing the Egyptians to hesitate, ultimately leading to Persian victory. Chai Chow's dancing troupe. In the 7th century in China, General Chai Chow used a distraction tactic by sending women to dance for Huyan invaders, allowing his cavalry to surround and defeat them. Feigned retreats. During battles, armies have sometimes executed feigned retreats to lure enemy forces into a vulnerable position before launching a surprise counterattack. This tactic aims to exploit the enemy's pursuit and turn it against them. Dummy tanks and aircraft. In World War II, both Allied and Axis forces deployed dummy tanks, aircraft, and other military equipment to deceive enemy reconnaissance and divert their attention from actual troop movements and positions. Deceptive camouflage. Military units have utilized camouflage techniques to conceal their movements and deceive enemy observation. This can involve disguising vehicles, equipment, and even soldiers to blend into the surrounding environment or appear as something else entirely. Decoy operations. In naval warfare, decoy operations involve deploying false signals, ships, or aircraft to mislead enemy intelligence about the location and intentions of the main fleet. This tactic aims to draw enemy forces away from the actual target or create confusion about the fleet's movements. Ghost Army. During World War II, the Allies formed a specialized unit known as the Ghost Army, which employed inflatable tanks, sound effects, and other deception techniques to create the illusion of large military formations where none existed. This unit played a crucial role in misleading Axis forces and concealing Allied intentions. False flag attacks. In some cases, military or intelligence agencies have carried out false flag attacks where they conduct operations while posing as agents of another country or organization. This tactic aims to shift blame onto a third party and justify retaliatory actions or political agendas. Propaganda leaflets and broadcasts. Psychological warfare operations often involve the dissemination of propaganda leaflets, radio broadcasts, and other media to demoralize enemy forces, sow dissent among civilian populations, or influence public opinion in favor of one's own cause. The Trojan Horse. One of the most famous examples from ancient warfare, the Trojan Horse involved the Greek army pretending to withdraw from the siege of Troy, leaving behind a large wooden horse as a supposed offering to the gods. The Trojans, believing it to be a religious offering, brought the horse inside the city walls, only for Greek soldiers hidden inside to emerge and sack the city. The empty city tactic. When vastly outnumbered by enemy forces, Zhuge Liang of the Shu Kingdom in ancient China famously employed the empty fort strategy. With just 100 men against 1 150,000, he ordered his troops to lower the city flags, retreat, and then he nonchalantly played his lute atop the walls. Mistakenly fearing an ambush, the Wei forces retreated, showcasing the power of psychological warfare. Parade of Giants. The Persian Empire was noted as putting their largest men on their smallest ponies and organizing them into parade units. Enemy cities saw them from far off and thought that they were giants riding normal-sized horses, and would often either give up or it would lower morale just enough in order to get the upper hand. Flaming Camels. In 1398, Timur set fire to his camels during the siege of Delhi. The panicked camels spooked the enemy's war elephants, causing them to trample their own army. This unexpected chaos led to Timur's victory, allowing him to replace his camels with captured elephants. Animal warfare. In this tactic, armies employ animals as weapons or carriers of disease. For example, during ancient sieges, attackers sometimes tied flaming bundles to the backs of animals, such as pigs or rats, and released them into enemy territory to spread fire or panic. Toxic fog. During World War I, both sides employed chemical warfare, releasing deadly gases such as chlorine and mustard gas to incapacitate and kill enemy soldiers. If you found this video interesting or thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Your support means a lot to me, and together, we can keep exploring important topics like this in a way that's easy to understand.